David Spieth here with one more flipped classroom math video lesson. 3 tips before we start. First, you can adjust the playback speed faster or slower as you desire. Second, you can pause the video at any point to catch up with notes or write down some questions. Third, you can turn on the captions and read my words on the screen. Today's lesson, solving exponential equations with logs. So we've done some solving of exponential equations using exponent rules. Now we're going to jump and use some logs to do that. So first off, let's take a look at this equation. We've got 2 to the x equals 7. Now our old method was to equate bases. So you could figure out how to write the number 7 as a power of 2. And you could use your calculator and do a little bit of guess and checking until you found out what power that would be. And then you could just equate the bases and x would equal whatever power that was. But logs offers another way to do that. So what we do is we take the log of each side. So let's do that. Watch how we go here. It's going to be log of 2 to the x equals the log of 7. So we're just using our regular equation solving techniques. We're doing the same thing to each side of our equation. But that same thing is taking the log of each side. So that's what gives us that. Now check this out. We have a rule that lets us deal with this side of the equation. When you take the log of a number to a power, the power can come out and we have x times the log of 2 equals the log of 7, like that. Now what I can do, I want to get x alone, so I can divide both sides by log of 2. And I get x equals, I'm sorry, I left off my 7. There we go. I got x equals the log of 7 over the log of 2. And now I want to get out my calculator to solve that one. So the answer on the calculator rounded to 2 decimal places is 2.81. Remember to use this equal sign because that means approximately. And then also wait till the end to take the log. Don't start taking the logs in here. Work all your algebra all the way down until you have x alone on one side, and then take the log of 7 and divide it by the log of 2. And that gets you your solution. So now I have one for you to try. So give that one a try. Very similar to this. Go ahead and pause the video and work the math. Okay, let's see how you did. This one's very, very similar. I'm going to take the log of both sides. That's the log of 6 to the x equals the log of 51. And then I'm going to rearrange this side to be x log 6 equals log 51. Then I'm going to divide through by log 6. I get x equals log of 51 over the log of 6. Now I pull out my calculator, I crunch the numbers. I get 2.19. Now you have a way you can check these very easily. If you get your answer, 2.81, then you should be able to plug it back into your original equation, and if you raise 2 to the 2.81 power, you should get about 7. Same thing for this one. If you raise 6 to the 2.19 power, you should get about 51. Your answers won't be exact because we rounded our decimals. The more decimals you carry, the more exact your answer will be. If you can get good at using your calculator, you could leave the whole decimal expansion on your screen and raise 2 to that power. Your calculator might just throw back 7 right at you. Okay, let's make it a little bit more complicated. Now we have, on the left side, we have 0.52 times 2.4 to the x power equals 25. And we, of course, want to find x. Now, we can't really take the log of both sides yet because we've got this big jumble here. But guess what? I can just divide 0.52, divide both sides by 0.52, and now I'm going to get 2.4 to the x equals, let me get my calculator, here we go, 25 divided by 0.52, that's going to give me 48.7, 48.08, let's do that. We'll do it down here, 48.08. It's always a good idea to carry a couple decimals with you just so your answer is more accurate. So now I can take the log of both sides, log of 2.4 to the x equals the log of 48.08. Now let's do our rule on this side. I have x equals, or x times the log of 2.4 equals the log of 48.08. X is going to be the log of 48.08 over the log of 2.4. Now pull out your calculator, do that math along with me here. So I have this number still on my screen with all the decimals, so I'm just going to press log. Now I have that result, and I'm going to divide it by 2.4 log, and I get 4.42. So just to check, I could put this 4.42 into this equation. So I'm going to do 2.4 raised to the 4.42 power, and then multiply that by 0.52, and I get 24.9. Remember, I did some rounding, so 24.9 is leading me to 25, so I did that right. So now I have one for you to try. Pause the video and give that problem a try. Okay, let's see how you did. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide through by 4.5. That gets me 3 to the x equals 137.78. I'm rounding to the hundredths place. Now I'm going to take the log of each side. Log of 3 to the x equals the log of 137.78. Now I'm going to change this around a little bit. I have x log 3 equals log 137.78. Finally, I have x equals the log of 137.78 over the log of 3. Now let's pull out the handy dandy calculator and see how we get. I should say, see where we get. Good thing I'm not an English teacher. 137.78 log divided by 3 log gives me 4.48. That's interesting. I made these two problems up and the answers are kind of very close to the same. It wasn't on purpose, but that's what we got. Now that you've watched the video, take a minute to jot down some notes, some questions, or a quick summary of the lesson. You can also re-watch portions of the video that were a little bit challenging the first time. If you enjoyed the video, please click like, and if you'd like to help me grow my YouTube channel, please click subscribe.